Hey, welcome back to the Simple Growth Sales Automations for the Cleaning Industry live webinar here with my co-host, Lori Wagner. And as we dive in here, Lori, we're going to be talking about home cleaning, nurture, and happy holidays. This is probably one of the biggest chunks that we're going to be diving into, and that's why we saved it to the end. So right now, in theory, if we've completed all our homework and we finished all the onboarding forms, you are pretty much up and running, minus the nurture and happy holidays. So just conceptually, I'm going to dial in where this takes place, and then I'm going to hand it over to Lori to basically steer us through this process. But as we're going through here, we're looking at our onboarding flow chart here. And basically, someone is captured off our website or entered it through the office. They've received the lead letter, the 5 or 6 reasons why our business is different. They've received the short-term education regarding the service, creating that higher perceived value and overcoming those sales and price objections. We've submitted the quote with the now the automated estimate follow-up is followed up for 20 days to close. That's where we're following up via automated text, email, and phone call. And then basically all the people who have gone in the system, whether they're a lead or client, are getting picked up here at the bottom of the end here. And we're going to segment that out over 2 different paths of basically completion. And Lori's going to dive into the documents here, but we've got our traditional documents that we face in the beginning of the month to everyone in the system. And then mid-month, we've actually created 2 separate pipelines for leads and clients separately. And Lori's going to go in best practice and why we've done that. But this is part of the system that is very, very powerful. Yes, there is going to be a little work in here. We provided some vanilla content for you that you may want to customize. And we're going to go into the details of what we included is vanilla content and some things you need to actually insert. But yes, there is a lot here, but not to be overlooked. There is some huge value here to continue to nurture that relationship and potentially have some mid-month communications or promotions, depending on how you use it. So, Lori, hopefully I did that some justice of where this is at in the customer life cycle, who's this interacting with, and looking lovely. Are you joining us from downtown Shanghai, that looks like there, or
Well,
what's going on?
It is a picture of downtown Shanghai, but it is not live. It is my main computer screen when I'm working with groups. So,
Love it. All right, well, the floor is yours. I'll let you kind of take over what we're doing with home cleaning, nurture, and happy holidays. And I'm happy to chime in at any point you need me.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mike. Okay, as Mike already said, this is an automation that's designed to keep in touch and be a long-term nurture for both clients and leads. Now, what we have set up is a 36 document bundle of documents that are already pre-linked to the automation. Now, that sounds like an awful lot, but when you break it out, you have 12 emails that are designed to be, home cleaning tips or newsletters. You can replace the content that's there, but they do come, as Mike said, with vanilla content. The idea being that you can reach out once a month to everybody, okay? And then and typically, we have to set things to something when we originally start these. So what we end up doing is we typically have these set by default to the 5th of the month, so that you send out a tips newsletter. And these are oftentimes things, just check, it's a good time to check your exterior lighting, your smoke detectors, you're getting ready for the holidays. Here are some things you can think of. These are, just very home cleaning or tidy home tips. So that would go out to everyone, both clients and leads. The second email that would go out in the month would be around the 20th. And what that does is it sets up the expectations for services for the following month. Now, these do not have to be discounted services, because sometimes people will ask me, do I have to discount my services? Do I have to run a special? Do I have to run a coupon? Not at all. What you can do here is simply offer the services. So, for example, if you have surplus slots available and you would like to offer people an extra cleaning, you could do that for clients at this time. So in terms of upsell ideas for clients, it might be a deep clean, an extra clean, an oven cleaning, refrigerator cleaning, holiday cleaning. I worked with a company the other day that also does a wellness cleaning, which I was amazed by, and I thought it was a great idea. During cold and flu season, they'll come in and wipe down everything, including the doorknobs, the light switches, the countertops, of course, in the kitchen that you would normally do, but they have an extra kind of a deep clean that's just designed to eliminate cooties, I guess. So those are things that might be offered to clients. Again, this does not at all have to be a discounted service, simply whatever you would like to promote at a specific time of year. Then for leads, you can promote, since they don't have services yet, you can promote one-time cleaning, deep cleaning, uh, maybe you could a move in or move out cleaning, and of course, a regularly scheduled service. So the idea here in Service Autopilot, there are two types of contacts. There are clients and there are leads. That's that. And you don't have to tag people. You don't have to identify them. The system knows to send one email through the automation to clients and one email through the automation to leads. And then the tips would go to everyone. Now, one thing that you can do is, you can try this and see how this works for you. It's worked well for many, many people. However, one of the things that some people have done to customize this is they have turned off the specials for clients, or they've turned off the newsletters for clients, but not the specials email for clients. The reason why is that often you're communicating with your clients quite a lot, maybe ahead and behind services. You also may be communicating with them with QDS or other systems. And so in some ways, and it's a preference. It's not mandatory. You could decide to not have a specific email go out to a specific person.
Perfect. Awesome, Lori. I appreciate you explaining that too. And absolutely got a puppy in the background here on our live video, so absolutely no worries there. So we've got we're going into the system here, and as Lori said, we're able to segment your clients and leads separately. And the definition between the clients and leads is where we're diving in. So we've got those two areas. And
sorry about the puppy.
Oh, you're fine. You didn't even have to adjust it. It's probably close to lunch or dinner time over there, so no worries. The time difference in Shanghai, you never know. So
you never know.
I was just highlighting here. We've got the difference between clients and leads. No worries there. And next thing, Lori, did you want me to dive into the document editor, or is there more things we want to dive into before we hop into that?
I think the document editor would be great right now, Mike. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So as we go in, once again, under the gear icon under documents, we're going to be putting in HC Dash, and that's going to go in and pull in your home cleaning documents. Lori, is there any particular documents you want to look at first, or which way you want to go with this?
No, not really. What I'd like to do is just let everyone know that we've coded up the documents and we've described them in such a way so that you can see what's first and what's second each month. Things are clearly defined as for everyone or for client or for lead. This makes it very easy for you to decide how you would like to make this work for you. Say, for example, you decide not to use all of the client emails. You don't want to do the client upsells. Then we would be able to turn those off in the automation and make these inactive. Well, one thing that you want to do, though, is give it a thought and see how it works for you, because in many cases, this has worked out very well for people. Again, we don't want to inundate your clients and leads. What we want to do is reach out to them gently twice a month. So each of these automation emails is then clearly designated as to whether or not it's going to be sent to everyone, or if it's going to be sent to just the clients or just the leads. Now, keep in mind that the client and lead emails are going to be set up for the following month. So if you want to open either the client or lead one for January, Mike, yes, thank you. Then
No
you're
problem.
going to see that these, even though it says January, in the subject line, it's upcoming February specials. The idea here being to plant the seed for things that are coming up with a little bit of a lead time so that people can then make sure that they can take advantage of those specials that are coming up. And again, I'm using specials as a term only in that it's whatever you're promoting. It doesn't have to be discounted. Again, we have a boilerplate or a vanilla content here to make it easy for you to reach out to people and plug in those special services that you'd like to promote for the upcoming month.
Awesome, Lori. Appreciate you diving into detail. And as we're live here, many of you in the cleaning industry, but you saw as a live video, we got a little Facebook posting here of Loud Marlo McKevely, one of my favorites in the cleaning industry, popping up on my screen from Facebook. So a couple of heavy hitters even popping up on my screen as we're dealing with the other heavy hitters here on the cleaning industry for the final part of our sales automation setup. So it's always kind of interesting what pops up on my screen for my notifications on these live webinars. So Marlo, if you happen to be on this one here on a replay, I want to say hello. Obviously, she's not, by the looks of it, on the live one right now, but she's one of my favorites. And Lori, I don't think you've had the pleasure of meeting her, but she is just a mover and shaker in the cleaning industry right now. But as Lori said, we've got some boilerplate, quote unquote, vanilla content. You want to insert the custom content and make this a little more applicable. But we've seen a lot of cleaning folks own these documents and really drive home some significant revenue as far as upsells with their offers mid-month. So just a great tool. And as always, when you're done, you want to go in and hit save and then close that out. So we've gone in and actually tackled then and we're going to go into name description. We are going to go into home cleaning dash, I believe it's N, correct, Lori? Nurture?
No, it's just HC dash.
HC dash.
Yeah, and that'll bring up all of them, and they're coded by month. So you've got 01, 02, 03, and those force the sort order by month. And
this is, so the January here is going to be our normal communication that goes out to our clients and leads in the beginning of the month. And then we've got requires custom content 1 and 2, and that's going to segment your leads and your clients separately. Is that correct, Lori?
That's correct.
All right.
And that would be, obviously, without going through and reviewing each of these, that would be all the way through the year. Correct.
Okay. And I'm just going to hop in here real quick. So the beginning of the month nurture is very similar. Just like Lori said, though, January is going to tackle January's tidy tips. So it's a little bit different than the mid-month nurture because that's going to be addressing the month in advance. And then under edit, we do have a little bit more content here. So I want to thank Lori and the other folks in the cleaning industry that helped us write these. So this isn't set in stone by any means. You're not going to offend us, but this is going to get you a really good start to that content. We had some folks that just used the boilerplate, quote unquote, vanilla content that's here, and they're still having great results. So don't get hung up on having to make this absolutely perfect. First draft is better than no draft. And the beauty of the Simple Growth automations connected to the Service Autopilot document editor is when you update these documents, they will automatically update inside the automations. And the other main point that I would bring in here is try to make these evergreen. And what I mean by that is make them applicable year after year so you don't have to go and reinvent the wheel each year. Maybe every 2 to 3 years you update and freshen the content. Lori, any other thoughts up to that point?
That's a great point because if you want to, you can change these up year over year. And a great idea is to just sit down and tackle one batch of them. For example, you can go through and tackle all of the tips that are being sent out. And that's 12 emails right there. So that's a great way to bundle this up and make it into doable chunks so you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to do 36 emails. Again, the time saving here is that the documents are created, the shells are there, vanilla content is there, the merge fields for your company information are there. It's often easier for people to react to a draft than it is to a blank document. And so you have something to work with that is actually turnkey if you want it to be. And then you can customize it to your heart's content after that.
Great, Lori. Couldn't thank you enough to join us on this live webinar here, visiting us basically from downtown Shanghai by the looks of it. My wife, I think, is trying to freeze me out of the house. She gained control of the thermostat, so I'm bundling up here. thanks again. Really appreciate your trust in Simple Growth. And hopefully we're driving you here through the last final webinar of your sales automation to the cleaning industry through to the finish line. So once again, once you've got this completed, finish your form that alerts us that this is done, and we can get these up and live and turned on for you. Once again, if
hey, Mike, one quick thing. I think the dog was trying to tell me that we've forgotten to mention Happy Holidays.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Again, these are designed to go out 7 times a year to your clients, just thanking them for the opportunity to work with them. And they're designed to go out at New Year's, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, that kind of thing. They're all coded as HH. We do have a Canadian version that is on the screen here. So if you're in Canada, don't worry, we have you covered. We have Boxing Day, Canada Day, Labor Day, that kind of thing. If you're in the US, then we're looking at 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, that kind of thing. Again, this is just to give you the ability to reach out easily. There is vanilla content there talking about the various holidays and wishing your clients well.
Awesome, Lori. Yeah, I appreciate it. So once again, we've got the U.S. and Canadian holidays. Thanks you for Olivia in the background there. My favorite puppy, just alerting us that we did almost forget Happy Holidays here. So nothing totally could go wrong on live video. We could just almost forget part of the presentation. So thanks for bearing with us on this video. If you're watching the replay, once again, we're just driving through to the finish line. Let us know when you're done. Finish out the online completion form that we're including. As always, at the end of the webinar, there's going to be a slide out where you can download the printable PDF of what we've gone through with the flow chart. So we're going to do the newsletters, mid-month communications between clients and leads, and Happy Holidays. Happy Holidays, once again, are under the gear icon, documents, and in the description HH here. That will pull it up, and we've got our U.S., Canadian, and if the demand keeps coming up, possibly even Australia and United Kingdom as well, as we are expanding our growth into the international markets as well. So, Lori, can't thank you enough. Thanks for joining me live on this. Until next week when we go through, and who knows what's going to happen. Either we forget Happy Holidays, or maybe my wife brings a dog home and we'll have a little puppy play date across the computer. So absolutely. So make sure you fill out your forms. We'll see you
again, Mike, and
when you get that completed.
Sorry about the dog.
Love it. Love it. All right. We'll see you guys. Make sure you fill out your form, and you've got your newsletters mid-month and Happy Holidays as homework. Try to get that as soon as possible. Normally, we try to get that done within 5 business days. We know this is the heavy lifting of our automation setup. So if it takes a few extra days, that's fine. But if we can get this in maybe the next 7 to 10 days, that's going to be the biggest benefit for you in the return on your investment as soon as possible. Thanks again.